we are in a place right now that's also building community in incredible ways. We are sitting on a stage on Main Street in downtown Midland, a street that traditionally would have vehicles going left and right, but it is fully pedestrianized. We are
Right.
sitting in the commons here in downtown Midland. These are curbless streets for accessibility. So, the equity is in place for folks to be able to remove those barriers for them to be able to experience this community. Uh, and that's really exciting. Can you talk about the ways that you experience our community in different waveforms, whether that's vehicle,
Yeah.
bicycle,
Yeah.
pedestrianism?
Well, the changes downtown in the last 6 or 7 years or so have we were down here. My family and I were down here at the beginning of when the Commons started this year. Well, many times, but this year, and I don't know how many thousand people were down here listening to a band, and I just tried to separate myself from the experience just visually to say I would never have dreamed of a time that this would have been a core gathering hub in the community. Not that Midland wasn't capable, just to actually see it come to fruition. And then up the street to have the accessible restrooms available for folks that are down here to try and extend the audience that can still then participate in these great experiences.
True access to community.
True access to community. For me, the bike paths and the green space in Midland County and beyond, but I've been kind of moved by the mantra lately of live where you are and enjoy what's there, right? We don't always, and I like to travel, I like to go other places and see new things, but we spend a lot more time where we live, right? So let's explore those things. And so the bike paths, the Pure Marquette Rail Trail, the Chippewa Trail, and then the pedestrian area down here. I love getting on a bike, feeling like the freedom of when you were 12 years old, before you could drive, to get out on a bike and go. And my wife and I make great use of the Pure Marquette Rail Trail, for fitness, but also as a way to bike into town, get an ice cream cone, swing down to Bryn Star and get a burger, pop into a shop at Little Forks and just see what's happening as a way. Because I don't live in Midland, in town. I live south of Sanford. But rather than bringing that car in all the way, let's park out by Averill and then bike in. So those are the key, from a pedestrian or from a cycling standpoint. I love those. And then going back to Little Forks Conservancy, I love, their preserves as access out to those green spaces. Some are really close to our house, a chance for us to get out and walk. And I joke and say I'll often go to Little Forks Conservancy properties because if I go to Nature Center properties, I feel like I'm working. This way, if there's a tree down or something like that, that's okay. It's no big deal. So there's so much access to the parks and green space. That is how I access from a pedestrian standpoint, and then canoeing and kayaking, of course.
How can folks continue to keep this momentum going? And I'm not talking about, direct showing up to city council, but is it just participation? Is it involvement? What is your vision on how folks can continue to keep this momentum rolling?
Yeah, I think from a very first step, explore the amenities that are here. Live here and enjoy those things. When we put the bike path in back in 2005, the Chippewa Trail, I think even at that point, the Pure Marquette was a fairly new trail, but you didn't know how many people were going to use that. And now there's literally thousands of people out on that trail. So use the amenities in the area. If you live in Midland and you're not taking time to go to the parks are incredible in this town. The level of service is through the roof. And then the experience that you can have there, whether it's along the river, whether it's, again, biking on the paths or inline skating or whatever you want to do, go and get an ice cream cone, whatever it is, take advantage of, in a positive way, take advantage of those elements. And then if there are other amenities that you think are important, let folks know. Get involved with a nonprofit that's maybe trying to elevate some of that work, to share that information and share out with your friends. Hey, let's get on the trail and go get a burger. I think starting with use is the key to make it relevant for yourself and see how that can change the way you interface with the community.
So spending some time on the rail trail is an important part of a good day for you in Midland.
Yeah.
And this is a brand new segment on the Max Loves Midland Show. In the past, we've done drafts where we've went through and named some things, and I'm sure we could have figured something out, but I want this to be a little more specific to the community that we're sharing and the community that gives this show its namesake. So I want to hear, what would a day look like in Midland for you?
Yeah.
So if we're looking through your lens, And Max is taking the sunglasses off. We're putting them on you. And what does a day look like from your lens here in Midland?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so I'm gonna pick a beautiful September day. If I have free reign on this, I'm gonna pick a beautiful September day, a little bit cool in the morning. Going to be a sunny day. I would start early. I think to really enjoy a community, you got to start early. So I would pick a Saturday morning, get up early. And for me and my family would be to bike in to the farmer's market. And I would start with a coffee and a breakfast burrito from Making Bacon. I'd probably go the chorizo bacon combo. It's a little more expensive, but it's really worth it. And I'd probably buy 2. I'd stick one in my bike pack.
Yeah, you got to keep that for later.
Yeah. And so once that's over, then you're going to have a nice leisurely bike ride back to your house. And then I would probably suggest a lunch, probably the Midland Brewing Company or Brinstar, because a lot of stuff, and we talked about nature and music, but food's another key one for me, because I think you got to make sure you're staying fueled and good and well hydrated. For your afternoon, I would recommend a paddling trip then on the Chippewa River. I would suggest starting either at 9 Mile, which is not as commonly accessed by folks in town, but 9 Mile to the Chippewa launch on Chippewa River Road. That's a great run down the river there. Then for me, as I get a little bit grayer and longer in the tooth, I need a nap, just a short nap. And then I would then fuel up with a nice dinner. And I don't even know where I'd go for dinner. Probably molasses is a pretty common one for us.
Absolutely.
And then if there's a Loons game, some way, I need a mix of solo time, and by solo, it's like my small core group of friends or my family, and then I can slide into some of the bigger community stuff. And so Loons game's a great way to do that, and then call it a night.
And for someone else, one of those recommendations for them would be to visit the Chippewa Nature Center.
course.
You just get to do it 5 times a week,
exactly.
or more.
Kevin, you just saved me on that one, didn't you?
Well, it was your day in Midland. I wouldn't expect you to go to work on your day off.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have 2 days, then of course there's opportunities to take in shows at Center for the Arts and Chippewa Nature Center and the Little Forks Conservancy properties. There's so many things that you can go do, but the combination of music, nature, and good food and community and friends, that's icing on the cake.
Subscribe wherever you consume media. Max Loves Midland is your entertainment, resources, and collective improvement hub for Midland County. Plan your next adventure in Midland at maxlovesmidland.com.